Hello, and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Thanks for joining me here today. Today we got a pretty fun build. We're going to restore an original Sweet 16 Hot Wheels custom Corvette. Now, as you can see, the paint on this is in pretty bad shape, and we got a wheel or a bearing missing in the front, so we're going to have to fix that. There's also a tailpipe missing off the back of the car. I may wind up switching out the base on this one here, but it's definitely salvageable, and we're going to do our best with it. Once we get it apart and we get the autopsy and figure out exactly what we need to do, then we're going to have a lot of fun with this. Now, the hood is in good shape. It still works and it's still in place, so we don't have to replace the hood. And these things snap off pretty regular. Let's go ahead and continue. Here I've got the post drilled out. Now, the posts on these Sweet 16 cars are the original first 2 or 3 years of Hot Wheels. The post is incredibly narrow, so you're going to have to use the 1/16 inch drill bit in order to drill out the post. Now, like I said, the hood still works, so that's a good plus right there. We got a very short post in the front, so we're going to have to use a smaller of the 1-72 screws, the 1/8 inch length. Interior is in good shape, and the well, yeah, that's definitely salvageable too. No, it isn't. I'm going to have to replace this. No worries, I've got an extra. That's looking awesome. The windshield is definitely salvageable. We'll clean that up and fix it. And the base, like I said, I'm going to wind up switching that out too. Grab your favorite adult beverage and join along. Here we've got the embalming fluid. Make sure you coat the entire body inside and outside so it removes all the paint. We're going to do a color change, and on customer request, we're going to go ahead and use Spectre Flame Blue. After we got that out of the citrus strip, we're going to go ahead and use a polishing bonnet and some flits, and we're going to polish this car up. Now make sure that when you're polishing anything that opens, like a hood or doors or something like that, that you hold on to it, because you don't want the bonnet to grab a hold of that thing and snap it back, because if you do, it will snap it off and you'll wind up having to do a hood repair. And if you don't happen to have one, or even if you have one, you're going to wind up saying some curse words. So do your best to hold on to things like that, and see, that's what happens. Fortunately, it didn't break. So you got to be careful with that, folks. The flits will make this definitely look fantastic. Just take your time with this and don't run your Dremel at full speed, because you don't want to burn the polishing compound that's on the car. And if you do it at high speed, you will. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that little bell to be alerted to any future videos that come out. This is one of my favorite parts when I'm restoring cars like this, is getting these bodies all nice and shiny if you possibly can. Now, sometimes the bodies are not in very good shape, and you'll either need to put a zinc plating on them, or you may have to use the silver base coat from the Redline shop. And that's an excellent product too, and it definitely hides any severe toning or anything like that. And check that out. I've got a whole bunch of other videos out where I have done that with cars. And like you said, grab yourself a few adult beverages and sit back and do some binge watching. This is turning out sweet. Once we finish up with the polishing, we're going to wipe it down and then get it to the sink and spray it down with some Zep degreaser and remove any of the residue from the polishing compound on there, and scrub it down with a toothbrush and then rinse it off with water. This is looking fantastic. The body on this is actually in super good shape. This is looking excellent. Let's go ahead and continue on with today's build. Here we're in the paint booth. We've got some Spectre Flame Blue from the Redline shop. And again, this was at customer request. We got it all scrubbed down with the Zepti greaser and dried off, and then I rubbed it down again with some lacquer thinner. Now I'm going to get all the hard to reach areas first, up in the fender wells, etc., to make sure that the paint coverage is fantastic with this. Take your time, put on some tack coats or some light mist coats, and then let it set for about 15 minutes. The paint will start to get tacky, and then any other paint that you spray on the car will have something to hold on to, and then you can give it those saturation coats. Now remember, with colors like blue and red and those heavier colors, the more paint you put on, the darker the color is going to get. Think of it as putting layers of candy over one on top of another on top of another. Like if you were to take some Jolly Rancher candies and then stack one on top of the other and then another one, then another one, pretty soon you're not going to be able to see through it because the color is going to be so dark. And that's why these paints are dark in the bottle, because it's so thick. Alright? Just take your time, light coats when you get to the color you want, then stop putting on layers. But I'll tell you, this is beautiful and it's going to turn out fantastic.
Meanwhile, back in the graveyard.
Alright, we were going to let the car set overnight so it hardens up that paint. Here we're going to take the windshield, I've already cleaned it off, and we're going to put it in the Pledge Revive to help coat it and make it shiny again. I did switch out the base, and I detailed up the front and the taillights in the back, polished it up. Now we're going to put on some new wheels. Here I've got two medium meats for the back, bearing style wheels, and two small meats for the front. I got these wheels also from the Redline shop. Check out all the products at the Redline shop at www.redlineshop.com, where Redlines come to life. And he sure means it, because I tell you what, with the paints he puts out and the tires and the original replacement decals, John puts out some fantastic products. So go check out his webpage if you're restoring your Redlines. But the other cool thing is if you're painting other cars, mainline cars and like that, and you want to put Spectre Flame on there, that works great on those cars too. So check out the different colors that he has to offer. Check out John's site. Alright, here is everything we got, folks. We got the body. Look at that beautiful Spectre Flame Blue. That turned out fantastic. Here's the brand new base that we switched out from another car that I had. Exhaust pipes are intact and we detailed it up. Here's the new interior since that other one was broken. And here's the windshield that I dipped in the Pledge Revive. Let's put it all together and have our reveal. And this is what we started with. This custom Corvette from Hot Wheels. This car is in definite need of some TLC and some restoration. The body was all scratched up. It was all chipped up and everything. The interior was broken on the inside. There was an exhaust pipe missing. Plus there was a bearing missing off the front. Now I can replace that and I can use it on a different car. I'll just snap off that other exhaust pipe in the back. I'll drill a few holes and I'll put some pipe in there and make the exhaust pipes look real. Now, no, it's not factory or anything like that, but you know what? Sometimes you do what you have to do in order to restore these cars. And there's nothing wrong with the base. I replaced the bearing, I replaced the exhaust pipes, and they look pretty damn cool. But you do what you have to with the parts that you have. Now, there are several replacement parts out there, but if you don't have to, don't buy them. And here's what we got to. Look at how beautiful this Corvette turned out. My friend Zach is going to be incredibly happy with this car. We stripped it down, we redid the body, we used the beautiful Spectre Flame Blue paint, brand new wheels from the Redline shop, we polished it all up, and it just turned out fantastic with everything we did to the car. This is definitely one that anyone would be proud to have in their collection. Now, some people call these filler cars, but you know what? I'd rather have a restored filler car in my collection than a junker. Thanks for joining me here today on Diecast Graveyard. I had a great time with this build, and I know that when I send this car off to my buddy Zach, he's going to love it too. So I've got a whole bunch more videos coming out, folks, a bunch of how-tos, etc. Please subscribe to the channel and you'll see when they come in. Thank you, and cheers.